So tell me about the philosophy behind high intensity resistance training. How does it help people? And how does it, because you can get people results in 20 minutes, like contrary to the usual belief system, you can be in a gym 20 minutes and get massive results. How does that work?
Look, high intensity resistance training is, there is a science behind it, obviously in terms of resistance training, weight training, but there's also a philosophy of just doing what needs to be done, do what's necessary, eliminate the unnecessary, maximize intensity. But that requires people to really want it, because it's not easy, it's hard. And if you want results in 20 minutes, you've got to train damn hard. And that's not about being the best and the strongest and the fastest and the fittest. It's all to do with concentration, because it requires an intense amount of concentration and focus and energy. Now, some people don't want to train like that, and they're happy to go to the gym and spend an hour and a half doing what they do, socializing, and that's great, that's recreation. But if you really want results and you've got 20 to 30 minutes to spare and you're ready to give it a go, then that's what we're about. We respect everyone's choices. We don't judge anyone. We don't put other disciplines down. At the end of the day, it's training with weights. It's been around for hundreds of years. There's nothing new. All I've done is just put my philosophy behind it. Whoever wants to follow, they can follow, and we do it together. If not, that's fine as well.
Yeah, and I like how you express that, because it's, you know, there's a non-judgmental way. It's not like my training is the best and this is the way to go. You basically opened up your arms and said there is a science behind this, it works, and you're more than welcome to join us.
If you want to do it, do it.
And,
if not,
you know, people in your class and also the people that you train, because you teach this to other trainers, they get amazing results, and their clients tell them how amazing those results are. So I mean, like weights, doesn't that get you bulky? Wouldn't you do cardio instead?
Not necessarily. Putting on muscle, getting bulky is very hard. It requires an extreme amount of energy and time and volume. Women especially are in fear of getting bulky. It won't happen. You know, if weights is cardio, because, you know, cardiovascular, cardiorespiratory, it's basically your heart and lungs, you know, supporting and functioning, powering your body to move and to survive. So sitting on this chair talking, waving arms in the air is cardio.
Yes.
It involves a cardiac cycle. Sure, there are exercises that you can do which can obviously increase the cardiac rate, the cardiac cycle, but you know, weight training done properly can also do that. But no, putting on size requires enormous amount of calories, enormous amount of dedication and time. So it's not that easy.
So what then would you say to the person they go to the gym every day and they're struggling and they don't see results, and they're like, I train so hard, I sweat my heart out, and they're not getting results? What would you say to those people?
Well, they might think they're training hard, but they're probably not. They're training long, but not hard. And Arthur Jones had a great quote. He said, you can train hard and you can train long, you just can't do both. What I find with a lot of people is when they spend more than 40 minutes in the gym, you know, even an hour, they dilute their effort. They dilute the intensity of their effort. They'd be better served maybe talking less, being on the phone less, and just training harder. And provided their nutrition is well balanced, they'll get results. But maybe their expectations are too high. You know, a lot of people look at a body in a magazine and say, you know, I'm going to train really hard to get that body. They won't, because their genetics won't allow them to. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Just train hard to the best of your ability, eat well, and your genes will express themselves to the best of their ability.
So really what you're saying there is, instead of punishing yourself that you don't look like the photoshopped version of what's in a magazine, appreciate the body that you have, nourish it, cherish it, and, you know, the best version of you will come.
Yeah, well, people now live in a state of, especially people that exercise, they reward themselves with food and they punish themselves with exercise, where that's probably the worst mindset that you can be in. They'll think, I've trained hard, or I've been good this week, so I can eat a cake or drink that bottle of wine, and then the next day I'll just go and burn it off for an hour in the gym. It doesn't work that way, and you're just on a vicious circle. You just keep going around and around.
And speaking of diet myths, what about what buzzword, if someone heard in the media, should they run in the opposite direction from?
20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when our grandparents were eating, how did they eat? They knew what was good, what was bad, and the good stuff you ate in abundance. The bad stuff was a treat, small amounts, and that was it. I'm baffled how people can be so confused about labels and what to eat. And the funny thing is when people say, "Oh, fruit is so expensive," and I say, "Well, let's do a comparison. A 1 kilo bag of apples is anywhere from $4 to $6. Go organic. Worst case scenario, you're going to pay $10 for a bag of apples. Certified organic, $10 for a kilo. You take a bar of chocolate, 250 grams. Okay, you're going to pay, what, $5 for it, $4? So that bar of chocolate per kilo is going to cost you $16 to $20.
Yeah, and it's not nutritious.
And it's not nutritious. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. Fruit and vegetables is not expensive when you compare it to all the other junk that people are buying.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the other common myths that people fall into is anyone can be a fitness expert these days. So how do you recognise a true fitness expert like yourself compared to someone who's a fraud?
Well, I'd like to say that I think a true fitness expert doesn't go around telling everyone he's a fitness expert.
Yeah.
I think people will come to you if you're good at what you do. I've always said, if you're good at what you do and you know your stuff, you never have to market yourself.
No.
People will find you. People will talk about you. They will be your best salesman.
Yeah.
If you have to, brandish yourself as a fitness expert and just constantly talk about it and come up with all these outrageous claims and ridiculous myths, soon enough you'll get caught out. And look, some people have gotten away with it and made a lot of money, but in the end they still get caught out. By that time it's too late. They've already bought their house and cashed in. But majority of the time I like to think that people are smarter than that, and they know who the frauds are.
Yeah, because that's how you've grown your community. People they go to one of your classes, they love it, they tell their friends about it, and that's what attracts people to you. You've got, that's on social media, but also in person.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just don't make stuff up.
Yeah. Don't
talk crap. Just don't make stuff up. Don't judge anyone. Do your thing, and people will come. If you feel that you can get up tomorrow morning and you'd be happy to do something else with your life, then you're not in this industry for the right reasons. If you feel that you would wake up tomorrow and there's nothing else that you want to do, then you're in the right industry. You're in it for the right reasons. But don't look at it from a point of view of how am I going to be rewarded?
Yeah.
What am I going to be able to attract? What affirmations am I going to say to attract this abundance of wealth? As Marianne Williamson says, reverse it, reciprocate it. What is it that you can do for the universe? And you will be rewarded.
And you're a shining example of that.
Look, I was just a simple, minimal man with, I guess, a big vision.
And a big heart too.
Well, I'd like to think so. Yeah.
So Christian, how can people get in touch with you? Where can they do your training courses? Where can they find you?
Just on our website, www.hirt.com.au. HIRT systems, they'll find us.
Great. And you're also very active on Facebook, and you've got courses running every couple of months as well.
Yeah, all over Australia.
And also Taiwan.
Yes, Taiwan, yes.
Christian, thank you so much for taking the time
Pleasure. Thanks for having
be
me.
here. Guys, if you like this interview, share it, could help someone, and also subscribe if you want more interviews.